City of Cuero wants to keep you informed. Here is your February 12th Cuero City Council meeting recap. The meeting began with public comments, where Thomas Gush, former city attorney for the City of Victoria, took the opportunity to introduce his new law firm, the Gush Law Firm, to Council. His visit aimed at gaining insights into Cuero's city management practices, highlighting his representation of the Golden Crescent area. Council then introduced several new city employees. Among them were Police Officer William Whitfield, Building Official Carl Finney, and Meter Tech Customer Service Employee Robert Hopkins. In the action and considerations portion of the meeting, Council deliberated and approved several community events. The discussion began with the Texas Hero Fest Barbecue Cook-Off, set for April 12th and 13th, 2024, at Cuero Municipal Park. Presented by Park Superintendent David Danish and President of the Texas Memorial Foundation Jeff Von Hafen, the event marks its third year and anticipates higher attendance than prior years. Council approved the Texas Hero Fest Barbecue Cook-Off unanimously. Next, the Lifeway 5K run was approved, scheduled for February 24th, 2024. Head of Lifeway Baptist School Lauren Clinton presented plans for the third annual Lace Up for Lifeway 5K and Half Marathon, requesting a police escort at the intersection of Broadway and North Hunt Street. With 88 participants already signed up and a goal of 125 total participants, the event was granted council approval. The Cuero Volunteer Fire Department Cook-Off, presented by David Danish and Chief of the Cuero Volunteer Fire Department Craig Oakes, is scheduled for June 7th through 9th, 2024, as a state champion cook-off in support of the Cuero Volunteer Fire Department. Council raised questions about the management of sanitary waste and disposal, to which Danish assured proper handling. An expected attendance of 70 teams has been noted for the event, which has received approval from Council. Purchasing Manager Rhonda Stasny presented the progress on the Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG, for street improvements identified by Grant CDV 23-0462. Council received the update that the grant had been awarded and a contract execution was expected within a week. Council was informed that it would be approximately 9 to 10 months before construction could begin, following the grant procedures. The report, which included a map outlining the areas of infrastructure to be updated, was accepted by Council with no further action needed. Danish requested Council's approval for soliciting bids for the construction of the Alexander Park splash pad. Danish updated Council that the planned splash pad area is already equipped with sufficient seating for comfort and a sidewalk that will help keep the area clean by reducing the amount of dirt and debris brought onto the splash pad. Council approved the action to give City Manager Wayne Berger and Danish the authority to solicit bids, aiming to complete the splash pad by summer. In the resolutions portion of the meeting, Council moved forward with the approval of Resolution Number 2024-05. This resolution awards the bid for the 2024 Street Reclaiming and Seal Coating Project to H&C Construction Company, Incorporated. Council addressed Resolution 2024-06 to revise the city's purchasing policy. Rhonda Stasny explained the amendment is necessary for facilitating the process of compiling a GLO grant application and ensuring the city's comprehensive plan is up to date. Council approved the revisions with a few adjustments to the verbiage used in some portions. Resolution 2024-07 was discussed, relating to GLO Contract Number 22-085-057-D314 for the purchase of a generator for a new water well being installed on San Antonio and French Street. Council approved this request. Lastly, Council reviewed and approved Resolution 2024-08 concerning the Schneider Engineering Load Shed Relay Project required by LCRA. By adding specific equipment, the project aims to improve load shedding capabilities at a circuit level without impacting critical services. Council approved the project, which is fully financed by the Lower Colorado River Authority, or LCRA. In the emergency reading of an ordinance portion, Council approved Ordinance Number 2024-02 concerning the May 4, 2024 election. The ordinance orders an election to be held on May 4, 2024, for one council member for Single Member District 2, one council member for Single Member District 3, and for mayor. In the reports portion, Finance Director Connie Hawes presented the Financial Quarterly Report. The financial status of the city was closely aligned with the previous year's figures, with a slight variance noted in the Electric Department's revenue, which is currently at 24%, slightly up from the previous year's 23%, against a benchmark of 25%. On the expense side, the city is maintaining expenditures below 25% as expected, with many projects slated to start in warmer weather contributing to this trend. Regarding capital project funds, Hawes explained that only 47% of the budget allocated for total expenditures was used last year. This was largely due to several projects being postponed to the current year, including significant sidewalk improvements. The next council meeting will address the first budget amendment for the year, focusing on new projects not originally budgeted for or reallocating funds from one project to another. The investment report highlighted an average rate of 4.75% for the year, with the largest fund averaging at 4.87%. Despite the rates offered by TexPool at 5.37% and TexPool Prime at 5.60%, Hawes recommended keeping investments local due to the collateralization and insurance of local funds. The city has nearly $18 million in money market funds, of which $5 to $5.5 million is allocated for expenditure this year, including $3 million for capital equipment purchases and $2 million for projects. The report also addressed the over-collateralization of city funds. Hotel-motel occupancy tax revenues are slightly down from the previous year by about $30,000. The city plans to distribute $364,000 this year while maintaining a reserve fund of $450,000 based on an average of prior years. This decision sparked a discussion on the necessity of keeping a substantial reserve for the hotel-motel occupancy tax fund based on the average of the past 2 years' allocations, ensuring consistent support for city events. City Manager Wayne Berger presented the city report, updating council on the recent challenges and actions taken by the city in response to the recent freeze. Berger began with a recount of the January 13th through 17th winter storm, highlighting the freezing temperatures that led to multiple incidents, including overloaded transformers and power outages. The city's proactive response included replacing transformers, having additional crews on standby, and addressing specific outages at residential locations. Efforts to manage these issues were successful, with the city navigating through the adverse weather without significant long-term disruptions. Regarding the water system, Berger reported on the winterization efforts that effectively prevented the loss of gauges, a notable improvement from past experiences. This period saw increased water usage due to leaks and residents taking preventive actions against freezing pipes. The council and community members expressed their gratitude for the diligent work of all involved, including a specific acknowledgement from a customer who praised the utility department's efficient handling of a leak. Berger concluded the water well segment by updating council on water well number 12, located on Bridge Street, stating that all necessary materials had been received and installed. With a few final tests pending, the well is expected to be operational by February 18, 2024, marking a significant step towards restoring and maintaining the city's water infrastructure. Purchasing Manager Rhonda Stasny presented an update on Cuero's recreational development. The city received a grant to fund the construction of a skate park, a project introduced to council nearly 2 years ago. This grant will facilitate the skate park's development, featuring accessible routes, parking, benches, lighting, and native trees. With the contract nearing finalization, there are ongoing discussions about the skate park's official name and initiatives to raise additional funds for the project. Council expressed gratitude to Assistant City Secretary Jennifer Urban for her pivotal role in securing this grant. Vice President of the Christmas in the Park Board and Executive Director of Cuero Development Corporation Maggie Cromines provided a summary of the December 2023 events. The event successfully attracted approximately 100,000 visitors over its 6-week span. Treasurer of Christmas in the Park, Alton Meyer, noted an increase in donations with an average contribution of $4.33 per car, leading to an increase in donations from 2022. The busiest night of Christmas in the Park coincided with Christmas in downtown Cuero. That event drew significant attention with 900 cars counted, highlighting the community's engagement. Looking forward, 5 organizations have shown interest in adding their own lighted signs, following last year's introduction of new displays. Council and Cromines discussed future considerations to manage the event's spatial needs due to its growth. Cromines also updated Council on the speaker system improvements currently being tested, with the goal of full implementation by the 2024 season. Lastly, Maggie Cromines expressed her gratitude towards all city departments for their assistance in setting up, managing, and dismantling the Christmas in the Park event, and for providing security during the event. She also extended thanks to the Cuero Fire Department for hosting the Tuesday night hay rides through the park. Concluding the reports portion, Captain of the Cuero Fire Department Clint Morris shared insights from the 2023 Blue Santa report. In its 14th year, the program provided significant support to 37 families, offering food, blankets, clothing, and a variety of gifts. Children ranging from infants to high school students benefited, receiving 3 to 5 gifts each, thanks to the generosity of over 20 donors. The initiative saw an expenditure of $10,498.66. Captain Morris highlighted the ongoing efforts to thank contributors, including current practices of social media appreciation and personal letters, while also considering new methods to acknowledge the support from the community. Mayor Postmeyer announced upcoming events and items of public interest for the city, which include Livestock Show ribbon cutting on February 24, 2024 at 10 a.m. at Ann Fryer Thomas Homemaking Building. The meeting concluded with an executive session, during which Council entered into discussions focusing on matters related to public power utilities. The session included deliberations on the foundational agreement between the Lower Colorado River Authority, LCRA, and the Rates and Resource Commission, as well as the LCRA services contract for the Cuero substation. Upon reconvening into open session, Council acted on the first item by granting the city manager the authority to accept the foundational agreement between LCRA and the Rates and Resource Commission. No action was taken on the second item regarding the LCRA services contract for the Cuero substation. This Cuero City Council meeting recap is intended to keep Cuero citizens informed and does not reflect all matters currently before Council. For further information, concerns, or public input, please contact the Office of the City Secretary. For the latest updates on the City of Cuero, as well as council meeting agendas, minutes, and more, visit www.cityofcuero.com.